All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Of course, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to sincere Akim, holding fast the faith of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, being occupied in the prophecies. Of course, you know, I'm the Bach. I'm with the brother Zion. You know, we just spiritually communicating in the car, you know, and then the brother's like, "Hey, you know, why haven't we done this video yet already?" So we just said, you know what, yeah, let's get to it. And so, you know, we're just gonna probably go in the spirit. One of the things that we're talking about is, you know, pretty much how the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know, when we're just kind of like running through the examples of sometimes how brothers, you know, get caught up in that putting things off spirit and procrastinating, right? And then, you know, here it is, you know, 2 days go by, you know, 3 days go by, and you still haven't done shit for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is completely wicked. Here it is, you know, you made excuses for why you couldn't do something, but, you know, you made time for your woman, you know, you made time to go out to eat, you made time to fucking order pizza,
you might have made time to watch a movie or something.
You made time to watch a movie, you made time to play video games, you know, you made time for all that stuff, but you didn't make time for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the one who gave you this truth, this glory, this heavenly glory, this word. So, you know, that's a demon that you got to fight. I was also giving this brother advice that whenever you start, you know, coming into these fleshly feelings, you need to resist that. You need to fight through it, meaning you have to suffer it. So let's say, you know, you had a hellacious day at work, man, your body's fucked up, your mind's fucked up, and, you know, I'm just using this as one example, and the brother could, you know, give other examples too, but, you know, a lot of brothers, you know, get stressed out because of their jobs, you know. That's like one of the main crosses that brothers got to carry is the hell that we catch at our jobs, okay? And from there, it kind of follows us home sometimes. So all that fucking hell, you caught at the job, you know, you're feeling tired, you're feeling down, you're feeling beat up, so that when you come home, all you want to do is you're in that mind state of, I just want to relax, you know, I just want to sit down, I just want to lay down, you know, put on TV or and just sit there and just relax, you know. But in your mind, the spirit's telling you, well, you got to do these studio shows, you know, you got these lessons that you wanted to do, you know, you could be speaking, you could be breaking something down, you'd be getting into these scriptures, you could be calling a brother up and spiritually communicating, you know, you could be going on a fast, you could be praying, you could be doing these things to contribute to the spirit, you know, rather than contribute to the flesh. And so there's a war going on in your mind. There truly is. There's the fleshly things, because the truth is we live in the flesh, so there are things that our flesh needs, but we go off when we start living according to the flesh. Okay, we let the flesh dictate to us what's right and what's wrong, and what we should do and what we shouldn't do, and that's where we go off. Okay, and to be carnally minded is death. That's basically being carnally minded, to constantly be giving in over to the lust of the flesh, and it doesn't necessarily have to denote you know, committing adultery, committing idolatry. It's also goes to the extent of choosing things before our power, choosing things before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which technically that is going off, because the scriptures tell you that you shall have no other God before me. That's the first of the 10 commandments, and that's essentially what you're doing, man. You're giving yourself over to something else rather than Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And as hard as it may be, at the end of the day, when you're coming home from work and you finally do get home, okay, you need to resist those that flesh, man. You need to resist the flesh. You need to deny yourself, right? And that's scriptural. He that cometh not unto me and hate not his own life. Okay? You need to abstain from your own desires. You need to constantly be in the spirit of denying yourself. You know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with after work unwinding, you know, giving yourself that me time, you can call it, you know, clear your head and all that, but it's to the point where if it becomes habitual, you know, you always coming home in that same spirit and you never do anything. How do you combat that? You fight it through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You resist it, meaning you have to suffer it. Meaning as much as you want to lay down, you don't. As much as you want to sit around and do nothing, you don't.
Yep. It's in the spirit, work now, play later.
Exactly.
So you get the work of the Lord done first, and then if you have any spare time, then you do the pleasures of the flesh.
There you go.
But don't do the pleasures of the flesh first, and then try to fit in the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Right.
It ain't gonna work. So I got a precept.
Come.
This is 2 Timothy 2:3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach. Now, when you see the word hardness, it says to suffer evils, hardship, troubles, to be afflicted. And you're going to be afflicted with just your own mind, like your own lustly pleasures. That's going to be an affliction. That's going to be an endurance that you're going to have to combat, you know? You're going to want to go home and just sleep. You know, you might not have got a lot of sleep the night before. So now this night you want to try to get extra sleep, but you're going to have to fight through that. You're going to have to, you know, kind of mitigate what you need to get done and the importance of each situation that you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's why sometimes it's important to have like an action plan.
Yep.
So, you know, if you say, let's say on a Monday, you know, you go to work, you didn't get any sleep, you know, going into Monday, you know, and you got to work the rest of the week. You got to find that space that you can utilize, you know, and then use it, you know. Don't allow any excuses to arise and become lazy and not do anything with the time that you do have available. Or what you could do is redeem your time by not doing certain things, okay? You know, there's just certain things that you could probably eliminate from your daily schedule that'll give you time back to do this work, because it's all about redeeming the time, because the days are evil, you know? And we already understand pretty much everything that we do in this flesh is fucking vain. Going to our jobs is fucking vain, but we have to do it, because if we don't earn an income, we can't support ourselves. We can't support the brotherhood, you know? So we have to have jobs, which means we have to suffer that cross.
Yeah.
You know, but that's something every brother should be suffering. Getting a job, making an income, or earning a wage, I should really say. Earning a wage, you know, and even though that's going to take time away from you, there's still always a way, okay? There's still always a way. The Lord said he can deliver the godly out of temptation. Yep. So that means that the Lord always opens up time to us. We just need to utilize it. Okay, and stop choosing things of the flesh over things of the spirit. Okay, and that takes discipline, that takes control, that takes an action plan. Okay.
Yeah, if you were in the world, there's people that are in the world that they can balance a part-time job, go to so-called college school, all right,
go to the gym.
Yep, go to the gym, pay, get enough money that they can pay the rent of whatever place they're at. They can manage to do that, but you have to be in the spirit to, okay, you know, what can I do? Because like there's actually a video on that basically about what you if you were in the world, right, and you had to go to school, you had to, you know, do your homework, whatever like that, one of your friends might come up to you and say, hey, you want to hang out? Well, you're going to be in the spirit, well, either hang out and then fail this test, or I study for the test. So this is the same thing when you get in this truth. You're going to have to have a job, you know, you're going to have to do this work, and then you have to find time in between to get other stuff that you need to get done. But you can easily get everything done, okay? As long as you can always better your situation too.
Yep.
If you find yourself being lacking in time, you can better your situation.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's what it's all about, you know.
You gotta pray to the heavenly. You gotta pray to Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
You know, too, because if it comes down to you know, lack of strength, you know, you need to pray to Yahweh Shai to give you strength. Okay. And you got to constantly pray. You know, you don't just pray one time for strength and then you never pray for strength ever again. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Perfect point. That's exactly what you need to do. So you need to pray every day, a bazillion, an infinity amount of times a day. Like, as the scriptures say, pray without ceasing. Yep. So you're always supposed to be in prayer. That's how important it is. Yep. That's how important it is.
I'm going to read through this real quick.
Yeah, come
verse 4, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. So it says, if you don't war, you're going to entangle yourself with the affairs of this life. And that's what we're pretty much getting into. Like, if you don't have that battle, that constant perseverance against, you know, your worldly lust, you know, whatever it is that you might like to enjoy doing, you know, whether it's playing video games or, you know, whatever you hanging out with your woman or doing things with your woman, you got to cut it off at a certain point. You know what I mean? And you got to make time. You got to make time for that rather than make time for Yahweh Shema Shai.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to reverse that.
Yeah. So it says, and if a man also strive for masteries, and that's what we're doing, right? We're striving for the masteries. Yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully. So when you look at the word strive, it says to engage in a contest, contend in public prizes, contend for a prize, to endure and to suffer. So we literally have to endure. You have to suffer. You just have to go through obstacles along the way. Nothing that you ever do, if you're trying to be number one and you're trying to contend in a contest, that it's going to be easy, because there's other people that are contending for this prize. The Most High can make anyone the elect. All right, so you need to be an exceptional man in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because the Lord can make anybody the elect. You know, so that's why we're putting so much of an effort in. That's why, like it says, this is a race and we run. You know,
yep.
So, and that's why like the apostles, man, they're a great example for trainers, right? If you were in a boxing match, your trainer's gonna be like, look, one more, you know, do more. And that's exactly how the apostles are being, man. The apostles are saying, do 3 videos a week. And if you can do more, do more. So these are our trainers, man. They're making sure that we doing the best that we can do in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Yeah, I got a precept for you. This is 1 Corinthians 9:24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize.
Exactly, yep.
So run that ye may obtain.
Run that ye may obtain. We got to put, and like I said, the apostles are our coaches, man, and they're making sure that we're running and doing everything that we need to do. You know, as well as they're running also. You know, to also receive that glory. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you can't, you know, in a race you might have obstacles. You might have to jump over hurdles.
Yep. And
then also within a race you got to stay on track.
Yep. Exactly.
Otherwise you get disqualified.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes with straight and narrow is the way that leadeth to salvation.
Yep. Straight and narrow is the gate.
Yep. But if you try to take any shortcuts, man, the Lord gonna fucking cut you out, man. You can't take no cut. You can't take no.
There's no no cutsies, man.
It's a long distance race right now, man. It's gonna feel like a long distance. There's gonna be times where you're gonna be weary. There's gonna be times where you don't think you're gonna make it to the finish line, but you just gotta persevere and, you know, just keep jumping them hurdles, like the brother said.
Yep.
They're jumping them obstacles. Go ahead.
So run that ye may obtain.
Yep.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Meaning you have to have self-control.
Yep, self-control. Yep.
You need to have some type of restraint.
Yep.
Because you ultimately, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in subjection, okay, and submitting yourselves onto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now, that being the case, what do you think comes first? The desires of the flesh, okay, or the things of the spirit? And the answer is easy. I mean, it's pretty much rhetorical. Obviously, if you're calling yourself a man of the Lord, then you understand that you submitted yourself onto his will, right? Okay? Because we all, basically at the end of the day, that is our cross, but it's also Satan trying to hinder us, because we are passionate about this truth. So why wouldn't we just do what we're supposed to do? You know? Because again, we suffer under the curses, okay? And we are in this flesh, which is weak, okay? So unfortunately, we have that spiritual opposition on the left-hand side working against us all the time. All right? But Yahweh Shem Yahushai gave us a way out of that, and that's what that spiritual fight that we fight. Okay, that we fight the good fight of faith.
Yep.
We have that spirit of perseverance. We have that spirit of endurance. We have that spirit to be long-suffering. And let's say you don't have those qualities, well, then you got to pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushai give you those qualities.
Exactly. Because those are all the qualities that say if they don't be if they be in you, it make you neither barren nor unfruitful.
Right.
That's what the scripture said.
So it says, in every man that striveth for the mastery, and you talk about the mastery, anybody who, you know, is trying to do something, like what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
You know, it says it's temperate in all things, so you have to have self-control. You need to know when, okay, I got time to do this, I got time to do that, I got time to squeeze this in. But that's the way you got to be when it comes to this work, and everything else has to come secondary. Okay? So whatever you're giving yourself over to more of, and it's not the truth, you need to cut that shit off, man. You need to cut that off.
Yeah. And really, what it comes down to is,
like you said, you know, you gotta
mitigate the.
You gotta flip it around, you know.
Oh yeah, yep.
You know, you said it better than I did, but yeah.
You gotta make time. You gotta make time for the world. You can't instead of making time for Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Yeah, you gotta make time for Yahweh Shem Yahushai instead of making time for the world.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
But it says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like that's a good point. Like I said, I was basically using that term of like college and you balancing all these things. They do that for an incorruptible crown. So we're doing it for they're doing it for a corruptible crown. So like we're doing it for an incorruptible crown.
Right.
Everything that we do, we put all the bullshit off just so we can do these scriptures and do these videos and learn as much as we can learn. We do it for that incorruptible crown.
Yeah, that's the salvation.
Yep.
Who the hell wants to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, man? It's scary.
Yeah.
It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power, man. This Most High can kill you any which way He wants to.
Yeah.
And the Lord is all about judgment. So why would you put yourself in a position like that? That's scary, man.
Yeah. And if you look at these guys like these worldly people, like your famous boxers and the greatest boxers, the greatest runners, the greatest anything, right? They have to literally they just have to have a one-track mind and say, look, I want to be the greatest boxer, so I need to do everything that is deal with boxing.
Yeah, and they don't let anything stand in their way too.
They ain't gonna do stuff that has nothing to do with boxing and incorporate half their time to that.
Exactly.
Because that ain't gonna make them the greatest boxer.
Yeah.
Okay. They need to constantly be training, constantly be doing things that's boxing related.
Yeah, they're gonna be fucking mediocre.
Yeah, they're just gonna be half decent, if anything. There's gonna be someone who's actually making that their one main goal. They're gonna tear them up every time. And that's us. And that's why you see a lot of guys falling out, because they're not making Yahweh Shem Yahushua their primary goal. They're not making that. They're not trying to run to the end of the race. And that's why you see brothers getting put up over other brothers in the spirit, because they're constantly fighting that fight, and they're constantly pushing and enduring forward. And then the other guys that are falling out, it's because they're...
Yeah, this has to be your primary focus.
Exactly.
Just to back you up. Yeah, this has to be your primary focus. So we can receive that, that incorruption.
Yep.
An incorruption, which will be ultimately the salvation, the kingdom of heaven, our bodies being transformed. Lord willing, if we're a part of the 144,000, man, we're going to be the elite out of the nation of Israel. That's that incorruptible crown. That's beautiful, man.
First in the kingdom of heaven, being glorified because we stuck true, being among the elect. Like that's a great title to have. In the kingdom, when everything's back established again, you're gonna have the elect men, the men that were prophesying the downfall of this kingdom.
Right. So reading on the last verse, it says, "But Shalakia, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air."
Yeah, so Apostle Paul knows what he's doing.
Yeah, when beat it, the air is basically you throwing punches, but you're missing the mark.
Yeah.
So how do you miss the mark in this truth? Well, when you start choosing the things of the flesh over the things of the spirit, when you start venturing off into your own desires, your own lusts, and start putting Yahweh Shem Yahushai to the side.
Yep, exactly.
That's how you're missing the mark.
Yep.
And then you want to act like, why? Well, man, spirit must not. Well, the spirit ain't dealing with you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Why are you feeling so heavy? The scriptures talk about let not thy sin weigh thee down. So if you ain't doing the right things, it's gonna show, man. And a lot of the guys that got kicked out, their wickedness started to show through. They couldn't contain themselves no more. They couldn't fucking hide those sins no more.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
As I started coming to the forefront, man. This thing is very serious. The scriptures do say all things that are covered shall be revealed, man. Shall come to the light. Okay, so the point is you want to cast off the works of darkness always, man. Okay? And you are your own worst enemy. And we have commandments that we got to keep, and we have to be faithful to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're married unto the Lord, are we not?
Yeah. Yep.
So we're supposed to be faithful to our first love.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the Lord gonna divorce your ass.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna write you that spiritual bill of divorce, man, and destroy you ultimately.
Yep.
But I keep, Slakia, this is the last verse, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Right?
Yeah, right, a hypocrite.
Yeah. You can become a castaway easily. I mean, if you're not doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it's going to show.
Yeah, exactly. And then you see it happening firsthand with brothers falling out or brothers getting kicked out. You see it most when brothers get kicked out. Right. It's because they're not doing what's required of them. Yeah, they're
more into the world than they are Yahweh Shem Yahushai, And that's like the guys, some brothers might not understand this when they first come in, but the guy that never wants to be around Akim, what do you think he's doing? He don't ever want to be around Akim. He don't ever want to communicate or text or call or talk or anything.
Yep.
He never wants to do studio shows. He never wants to do videos. He's always making excuses. Do you think that his mindset is fully concentrated on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, or is it potentially the things of the world? Because I would go with the latter.
Yep.
All right?
Precept.
And that's a spirit you don't want to be in. Okay? That's a trap of Satan, man.
Is
using the weakness in the flesh against you. The weaknesses that you have in the flesh against you. But go ahead,
precept, precept real quick. This is 1 Peter 2:11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul. I'm gonna look up these words. You got the word abstain, which to hold oneself off, refrain.
To hold oneself off. To hold oneself off. Okay? So you put off the things of the flesh.
Yep. And I got the word flesh.
You put off the things of the flesh. To hold oneself off. Like, hold on, let me not lay down, because I know if I do, I'm not going to get this video done that I wanted to do. Okay? Let me not just sit down and do nothing and turn on TV. Otherwise, I'm going to become distracted and more focused on that. Yep. And my attention is going to be diverted from doing this work. That's what it's talking about. Okay? That's what it's talking about. So you combat that by withstanding, by praying. You know, biggest way to conquer something is you got to fight through it, not give into it. If you're always giving into it, it always will conquer you instead of the other way around. But
yep, John, it says fleshly lust, and when you look at the word fleshly, it goes for fleshly, carnal, having the nature of the flesh. An example, under the control of the animal appetites, or basically being, just
you don't have that. We read in 1 Corinthians, it talks about having being temperate in all things. That's having self-control. That means you're not restrained. Yep. As soon as you have a desire, you want to fulfill it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't control yourself.
Yeah, that's the problem with Esau. As soon as Esau has any desire, which is always wicked, all his wicked desires, they automatically go into action. Mm-hmm. He doesn't consider that that's a wicked deed or a wicked act. He just says, like, well, if it's going to cause me joy, I'm going to do it. Instead of seeing, like, well,
he sins against his own soul. The scriptures say.
So you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be like the other nations.
He'll sacrifice himself just for pleasure.
Yep. So it says fleshly lust. When you look at the word lust, it says desire, craving, longing. Desire for what is forbidden, or a lust. So anything that you crave or anything you desire for, it doesn't even necessarily have to
it doesn't have to necessarily be wicked.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be against the scriptures. But it's essentially against the scriptures if you become so
like indulgent.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're indulgent in every single desire, man, in the sense that it's causing you to put off from doing the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, that's completely going off.
Even drinking too much alcohol.
Yeah,
alcohol is a good thing. It says drinking, instead of drinking a lot of water, drink a little wine for thy stomach's sake.
Right.
But even that become too indulgent. It can become too much.
Exactly.
If you're indulging too much, rather. So I'm gonna read the scripture again. It says, "Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul."
And those things of the flesh are literally warring against you in the spirit. That's why I said that when you go through that mental stage where you're weighing out what it is that you want to do, you need to fight against whatever the flesh is dictating to you to do. Okay, that's part of having that spiritual filter and knowing that what's best for you is to push through whatever that desire is, whatever is trying to prevent you from doing the work, and just do the work.
Yep.
Like the brother said perfectly, work now, play later. Okay?
Yep. And there'll be plenty of time for playing in the kingdom, man.
Yeah.
You guys gotta consider that too. There'll be plenty of time for playing in the kingdom.
Yeah. Don't sell yourself short for the fucking
for
things
this
life.
Yeah,
for this fucking world.
Yep.
We subject to supposed to lose everything anyway, so fucking don't put your strength into this shit. I'm not saying don't have any care at all for the things that you have, but you gotta know when's enough is enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta know your limits. So I don't really have. Actually, Salaki, I do have something. I have 2 more scriptures, and I don't know if you have anything else, but
I have a scripture.
Okay, let's try to find this real quick.
All right, I'm gonna bring this out real quick. Let's see. Okay, This is Mark 10:29. Yahushua answered and said, Verily I say unto you, there is no man that hath left house, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my sake and the gospel's, but he shall receive an 100-fold. Now in this time houses and brethren and sisters and mothers and children and lands with persecutions, and in the world to come eternal life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last first. So you got to be in the spirit of, look, after this is all said and done, after you put in all that time, work, and effort, it's going to be all paid off in the end.
Yep.
When Yahushua gives us that 100-fold.
Yep, Khan. Exactly. This is this is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 5. I'm going to read down. And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness. See, these are the attributes of a man of the Lord. And if any of you lack these things, look, you can look some of these words up yourself. Yeah,
and get a good understanding of them.
Because these are the characteristics and qualities that a man of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai needs to have if they want to be successful in this truth. And by successful, I mean not going off course.
Yep.
All right? Entering in at that straight gate, as the brother mentioned earlier. These are the values, these are the qualities that you need to have in order to be saved. Okay? To be considered acceptable in the sight of the Heavenly Father. I mean, ultimately it comes down to whom he shall have mercy on. But do you think the Lord's going to have a mercy on a dude who's always disobeying him? Who's always constantly saying what he's going to do, but then never follows through on it? Do you think the Lord is really going to deliver a man like that? Okay? Over the individual who's always putting in the time, who's always putting in the effort, who's always laboring towards this truth, who's always doing studio shows, right? So it says, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, right? We need to suffer when we're being tempted. So we need to fight through whatever that temptation may be that's trying to pull us off course. And to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. For if these things be in you and abound, yeah, they need to abound too. Yep.
They need to be deep in your core, man, deep in your spirit. You're not doing it because it says to do it. It's doing it because it's embedded in your DNA, so to speak. You know,
it's not just what you would call an obligation.
Yeah.
It's a willingness to want to do these things. Yep. The sincerity, a genuinity to want to do these things. It says, for if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua. But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off. Yep. Yes, spiritual blindness.
Yep.
And hath forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Wherefore the rather, brethren, and this is the point, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail.
Yep.
So you got to show forth diligence. Make your calling and election sure. And how do you do that? Is it by putting off the work of the Lord? Or is it rather that you fight through the lust of the flesh, fight through your desires, okay, be long-suffering, and be patient, and just do the work, okay? Work now, play later. I mean, that pretty much could be like the theme of the show. There'll be plenty of time to, have fun in the kingdom, like the brother said, man. Especially considering the times that we're coming in. There's really no time for play. It should be nothing but work. And if this is too hard for you, then as the apostles say, you can just leave.
Yep, I know. Yep.
If this is too hard for you, you find yourself so overwhelmed and overburdened that you can't even do a simple task as learn the truth and teach the truth, teach what you have, teach according to the talent of what the Lord gave you, then you need to get the hell out of here.
Exactly. Thou wicked and unfaithful servant, who hid that one talent, from didn't want to duplicate it, You guys don't want to put in the effort to bring in brothers into the fold. You guys want to just hide this truth.
Khan, I'm gonna read one more scripture, and that's pretty much it. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. You think he's going to be devouring the individuals who is always on their watch, who's constantly circumspect and pushing forward, always pushing, right? As the apostle Rakah would say, to push on, right? Satan ain't able to devour that individual, but he is able to devour the individuals that always have their guard down, who's always entertaining the lust of the flesh. Satan gonna fucking swallow that individual whole. Yeah. Okay, meaning the spiritual demon Satan. Yeah. Okay, and then the physical demon Satan, the so-called white man, is gonna get your ass in martial law too. Because you don't have that hiding place, man. You don't have that strong tower.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you don't have that strong tower.
You don't have Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Yeah.
You too busy playing games and giving into the lust of the flesh. And so therefore, the Lord gave you over to the spiritual demon Satan, and then eventually gave you up to the physical demons Satan, meaning adversary, okay, meaning the so-called white man who spiritually operates on the left-hand side of things, because that's what it's going to lead to. And if Esau don't destroy your ass in the famine, in the race riots, in martial law, and Jacob's trouble, you're going to get destroyed with the missile. But it says, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist. You see that? It's telling you to resist the devil. Resist Satan. Resist these spiritual demons that constantly trying to war with you. Yep. And you do that by getting with brothers. You do that by calling brothers, man. You do that by doing studio shows. You do that by opening the scriptures and reading. Praying that the Spirit come in and sup with you. Praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushai for strength. Going on a fast.
Yeah. When you look at the word resist, it says to refrain or abstain from. That's what the scripture already said, to abstain from that thing.
Yeah, gotta deny yourself, man. Gotta deny your pleasure, man.
You have to freaking resist that, man. Because if you don't, you're just gonna fall to the temptations of the world. And,
and we're not saying that you can't, do things.
Exactly.
Take your woman out.
Yep.
But make time for Yahweh Shem Yahushai first.
Yeah.
Or whatever you may be into that's lawful.
Yeah, you want to watch you want to watch a sports game? Yeah. Go ahead. But don't have the mindset. Well, I'm gonna watch a sports game then do a video. Right. No, do the fucking do the video then watch the sports game.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna use the reference of 1 Corinthians. We almost getting ready to finish this race. We're coming to the finish line. You want to fall short?
Exactly. Yeah.
Before crossing through.
Yep. Who knows? You're gonna be sitting there watching the football game. Next thing you know, martial law fucking declared. The thief coming and breaking in your house, and then you could have.
Yeah.
Most time be like, no, you cast me away right there. You could have used that time sparingly and worthily. Instead, you did it for some bullshit.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. Just like I said, work now, play later.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith. Now get the word steadfast, because that literally means to be immovable. Okay. Meaning there ain't nothing that could take us away from the faith, okay? We're firm for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're firm for this truth, okay? We're unmoved. We're not giving over to our lusts. We're not giving over to our pleasures, okay? Even though our flesh is weak, okay? The spirit is that much stronger, okay? And Yahweh Shem Yahushai ultimately gives us the strength that we need to continue to persevere and move forward.
So... Steadfast is resolutely or dutifully firm and unwavering.
Yeah.
To standing firm. So it literally comes from the Old English, which means standing firm.
Right, standing firm, meaning unmoved. Yep. Unmoved. Okay? So...
Firmly fixed.
Yeah, what are some of the synonyms there?
So you got synonyms: loyal, faithful, committed, devoted, dedicated.
Yeah, devoted, right. Gone.
Reliable, true, constant.
Yeah, you're not unstable. Yeah, constant. Yeah. Okay? You're continually pushing this truth forward, right? You're continually growing in this faith.
Yep. Okay.
So, you're not giving up. You're not putting it off. It says, whomso resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the power of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Yahushai, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. So, I don't have anything else to say. Just as the apostle Bakal would say, keep pushing on, man.
Keep on.
No matter what. You know, we're going to have hindrances in this thing, but that's not an excuse to fall short of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, unless, of course, the Lord is not dealing with you.
Yep. Yeah, and you have the brotherhood, man. Don't neglect.
Don't take it for.
Don't neglect the brotherhood, man. Don't think that you should go on your own and be a lone wolf, man. That's the scriptures were never. Yahushua did not come to bring people in to be lone wolves. All right. He was bringing in the sheep to bring them back into the fold. All right, to be with other sheep, not to be fucking lone wolves. Because a lot of people want to hear this truth and be alone. No, we're brotherly kindness and charity is what this faith is about, man. And the brotherhood is there for its reason, okay? And so you shouldn't be just wanting to always be on your own, or you don't agree with something so small that you have to fucking leave and start your own camp, because you yourself can't be a brother.
Well, the scriptures talk about let everything be done decently and in order.
Yep. If you have an issue, hash it out with the brother, man. Hash it out between you two. Hash it out, and just keep on pushing his word, and be brotherly, for both parties, man. Both of you acknowledge your faults, and fucking me and his brother go through things all the time. We're brothers. We're actual physical brothers. So we have our faults, just like we are spiritual brothers. So, but we can go past that physical brother bickering that we do, and at the end of the day, he's my spiritual brother, man.
Yep. That outweighs everything,
and that outweighs any physical, any physical thing. So at the end of the day, I can say, look, man, we're in this race to hit the
phone. Slack you.
Yeah.
He's talking.
So we're in this together, man, and I'm gonna help him out.
Yeah, here's the whole question that I pose to these individuals that, like you said, want to be lone wolves. How do you contribute to the brotherhood being a single man?
Yeah, exactly. You can be in a camp with a group of Akim, instead you want to set up your own camp.
Yeah. So how do you contribute to the brotherhood?
Yeah.
How do you become charitable?
Yeah, exactly. If you got no brothers with you, and you have the opportunity to. So I can understand there's even no camps near you. You have to start on your own. You have to bring in brothers, right? But if you can be with the brothers, man, be with the brothers. Point blank. Period.
Got one more precept to end off on, and
that's a good precept.
Then we could just end it.
You want to read it?
Let me get it from here.
All right, go on.
So that way I can actually remember where it is.
Go on.
Okay, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and 9. It says 2 are better than 1. There's the point.
Yeah, that.
You know, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. Right? And this brother is complimenting everything that I'm saying, and I'm complimenting everything he's saying. Everything he's saying is according to the scriptures, and I'm right here able to back him up.
Yep.
Okay? So it's very rewardful to us to be working together toward the same cause, man. It's beautiful.
Yep.
This is the most perfect, beautiful spiritual bond you could ever want with somebody.
Yep. This is way better than any worldly.
This is connecting us right now to the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father, His Spirit is dwelling with us right now.
Yeah, we're 2 or 3 gathered in my name. There, I'm in the midst of them, right?
What's better than that, man?
Yeah.
What's better than that? There's nothing better than that, man. We don't have nobody else to talk to the way we can talk to in the brotherhood, man. Because can't relate to us, man. Okay. They can't relate to the things we go through, to our sufferings, all the hell we catch. They can't offer us any spiritual advice so that we can pick ourselves back up. So you need brothers, man, like-minded brothers in this faith to support you and for you to support them. It says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
Yeah.
But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he had not another to help him up.
See that? So it's you lone wolves, man.
Yeah.
It's you that want to be lone wolves, man. You got,
Yeah, not all men can have. Not one man gets all the glory.
Yep.
Okay. That's why there's an elect. That's why there's a 1/3, beginning with 144,000. And there's always going to be men that are above you and that are stronger in the spirit than you, and you're going to need them.
Yep.
And they're going to need you.
Exactly.
Because we all have an order of importance, and we all so as long as we're doing the faith sincerely, we all have a part to play. Play your part, man. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yep.
All right, so with that we say all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the Akim.
Shalom.